WWE NXT champion Karrion Kross losing to Jeff Hardy in his main roster debut got fans enraged on the internet. We would say no need to panic, folks, as several newcomers lost their WWE debut matches and went on to headline WrestleMania just a few years later. I'm Kevin, and here are 5 former world champions who lost their WWE debut match. Number 5, Randy Orton. 14-time WWE World Champion and Monday Night Raw's resident snake person, Randy Orton's debut match for the company was against Billy Gunn. At the age of 21, Orton faced Gunn on the May 6, 2001 edition of WWE's Sunday Night Heat. And for those of you who were not watching at the time, Sunday Night Heat was basically what Main Event is now. WWE would tape dark matches in front of live crowds and play them at a later date, usually featuring up-and-coming talent or lower-card wrestlers. Though Orton lost the bout to the Ass Man in under 4 minutes, it was an impressive outing and showed that he had a bright future in the WWE. However, Orton's official WWE debut match happened on SmackDown on April 25th, 2002, where he defeated another grizzled veteran in Hardcore Holly. It's crazy to think how it's been nearly 20 years since the Viper worked his first WWE match, and wow, how many heads has he punted in since? Yeah, the memories. You can't remember them because Randy Orton kicked you in the head. Number 4, Sting. The icon, the franchise player of WCW, a man called Sting, finally made his WWE debut at Survivor Series 2014 when he helped Team Cena defeat Team Authority, coming in the final moments to help Team Cena's final competitor, Dolph Ziggler, help get the pinfall win over Team Authority's final competitor, Seth Rollins. Once the referee was knocked out, Sting appeared and took out Triple H and made sure Ziggler got that pinfall. Now at WrestleMania 31, Triple H got his revenge on Sting, beating him in his first match in WWE that people waited decades to see, and his only WrestleMania match. It was a strange call, to say the least, with many fans believing this was WWE sticking it to WCW in the Monday Night Wars. Many years after the Monday Night Wars. WWE Hall of Famer Sting is now a part of All Elite Wrestling, where he actually won his debut match, and a team with Darby Allin defeating Brian Cage and Ricky Starks in a street fight at the Revolution pay-per-view, which showcased the 62-year-old Stinger still has a lot left in the tank, despite some serious injuries. Number 3, Chris Jericho. That's right, WWE served Chris Jericho a loss in his first match with the company. The Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla, who had one of the greatest debut moments of all time against The Rock in Chicago, lost to the Road Dogg Jesse James just a few weeks later after his anticipated arrival in the company in August of 1999. Now, he wasn't beaten by the DX member per se. Jericho drove his opponent's head through a table with a powerbomb, earning himself a DQ loss. At least Jericho wasn't pinned or submitted, but it was a surprising decision given what had happened just a month earlier with Jericho trading words with The Undertaker and The Rock. The loss wasn't a detrimental one, as years later, Jericho would go on to defeat The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the same night to win the undisputed WWE Championship. I'm pretty sure he's told you about this more than once. And if you didn't know that, you just made the list! The list of friends who I want to have a Chris Jericho watch party with. You bring the pizza, I'll pick the matches. If you try to put pineapple on that pizza, I'm going to put you in the walls of Jericho myself. Number 2, Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan made headlines recently when news broke that the former WWE champion reportedly signed with All Elite Wrestling. Though Bryan nor AEW have confirmed the deal, it seems that he's indeed bound for Wednesday nights. Interestingly enough, Bryan's first official loss in WWE, not counting his sporadic 2002 appearances, was against an AEW World Champion, Chris Jericho. In his debut match on NXT, which was then sort of a reality competition show, Bryan took on Jericho to his limit in the first ever episode of the brand. It was quite the match. Seek it out. Considering that he was called a rookie at the time, which is kind of weird, Bryan was also a Ring of Honor World Champion before he ever got to WWE. Bryan's loss to Jericho wasn't at all shocking. This was still Chris Jericho. WWE at least made Bryan look like $1 million, even though he'd eventually go on to be the first eliminated on the show. Yeah, a show where Titus O'Neil tripped carrying a keg. Titus O'Neil trips a lot, right? Number 1, John Cena. You lost a match. In 2002, after finally accepting the fact that he was now bald, Kurt Angle, bald is beautiful, brother, take the note from Hulk Hogan, issued an open challenge on SmackDown to anyone in the locker room that he had never wrestled before. And the man that answered the challenge was a young John Cena wearing a flat-top haircut and, of all things, tights. That's right. It was an age before jorts. What did Cena have to do to square off against the Olympic gold medalist? His reasoning was ruthless aggression. Cena slapped Kurt Angle across the face and it was on. It was quite the debut for the future WWE champion, and Angle tested him. Even though he didn't win the match, John Cena got something bigger: respect backstage from The Undertaker, the then WWE champion. That means a lot in life, and it definitely means a lot in the WWE. It has to be one of the best WWE debut matches of all time, and he didn't win.